as this guy's walking in to meet him, and they just start punching each other and just get into a full-blown brawl. Back when I was around the age of around 14-ish, you wouldn't see me anywhere without a cube in my hand. So it was the summertime, and my buddy Alex and I were hanging out as we usually did, skateboarding and cubing and eating hot wings specifically. So one day, I don't remember how we ended up there, but we ended up at a Just Wing It hot wing restaurant here in Bakersfield. And Just Wing It had just opened, and it was like the new place to be, and we had to try all the flavors. Of course, me being me, I had to try the most spicy one they have on the menu, where you have to like sign a waiver for it and all that kind of crazy stuff. So my mom must have been shopping or something nearby and had left us in the restaurant, because somehow it was just Alex and I sitting at the bar of this restaurant. Now, because the restaurant was so packed, normally we sit at the table, but we just wanted to get in and out, and so we were sitting up at the bar, which, again, if you're not familiar, the bar doesn't mean that you're like actually drinking. It's just kind of a term for you're sitting up there, and you can just have easier access typically to the waiters and servers and all that kind of stuff. So we're sitting there, and we're just practicing algorithms and just racing, whatever. And this guy sits right down next to us, and he was drinking, and kind of like a more kind of a guy you'd expect to see at like a saloon type bar, kind of like a cowboy vibe, thick mustache and big muscles, kind of like deep husky voice. So he's sitting next to us, and you can kind of feel, I'm sure all you guys know, when you keep in public, how you can kind of feel when there's like eyes on you and people are watching. So we're sitting there cubing, and we never really cubed in public to like impress people, but it just kind of happens by accident. People tend to get pretty amazed when you're solving the cube in around 10 seconds. So we're sitting there cubing, and the guy just finally says to us, like, what's the trick? And we have the whole conversation of, oh, back in my day, I solved 3 sides. And everything that a non-cuber says. Oh, I peeled off the stickers, I would take them apart, all that stuff. So we're explaining how it works and everything like that, and we're just enjoying our wings and our solving. Well, he orders what's called, I'm not really a big drinker, so I might be using the term incorrectly, but I believe it's called a boot. So it's like about this big worth of beer. It's a big pitcher just full of beer. And he looks to me at my friend Alex and says, if you can solve the cube before I pound this beer, I'll buy you guys a round of beer. And I guess maybe he had had a few to drink already, and he had thought that we were old enough to drink. So he told them, well, thanks for the offer, but we don't drink and we're underage. He's okay, I'll buy you guys your wings instead. Great, sounds good to me. I'm in. So I was the faster of the two of us at that point in time. I was around like probably 14, 15 seconds. Alex was trailing closely behind at like 19s to 20s. So we start our official, and like by the time this is happening, kind of people are crowding around the bar. So we have like the servers and just random people in the restaurant kind of crowding around us to see this race go down. So for me, like, nerves are on, and I was always horrible with like shaking at competitions. And so I'm just like trying to breathe and not panic, because I know that if I can solve it in around my normal times, that I have a good chance of winning. So timer starts, and he picks up his beer and just starts chugging it. And still to this day, I don't understand how somebody can consume that much alcohol in that period of time. I start my solve, and I'm like locking up and panicking, and I finished my solve, and I have no idea what the time ended up being. I finished my solve right before he finished his drink, which still, like I said, is incredibly impressive to me that the human body could consume that much alcohol in 15 seconds, give or take. And he buys me my wings, and all is good. So we're sitting there just, chumming it up, talking, and all that good stuff. Well, this same gentleman, like I mentioned, kind of husky, big, tough guy looking guy, he's sitting there talking to us when all of a sudden he just stops talking to my friend Alex and I entirely and stands up and looks towards the door. So Alex and I are just kind of like eating our wings, smiling. We look over, and it's like a record screech. And we're kind of like in old westerns, like when like the saloon doors just bust open, and like a cowboy walks in with like his hand on his gun, and all of a sudden, like, I don't know what they said with like their eye contact, This guy walks into the middle of the restaurant as this guy's walking in to meet him, and they just start punching each other and just get into a full-blown brawl. Like, they're slamming each other over tables. Like, I couldn't even make this up if I tried. It was legit a full-blown bar fight. I just was waiting for like everyone to start getting in on it, and I was like thinking to myself, do I go and try to get a few hits in myself, or do I go hide in the bathroom? So I opted to go hide in the bathroom. And as I'm standing up, looking probably terrified, another older guy who had come in with this guy grabbed my friend Alex and I and like moved us towards the back so that we wouldn't get caught in the crossfire, because I as you could probably tell, I don't know how well I would do taking a punch to the face. So that was really nice of him to do. And bar fight got broken up probably within the 45 seconds. I don't know. Usually in those situations, like, time tends to slow down a little bit. And everything gets settled down. The guy that had bet us finishes his drink and everything, and all is back to calm. And as we're walking out the restaurant and the guy paid for our wings, my friend Alex makes the remark, "Oh, well, that's why they call it just wing it and swing it." And from that point on, we refer to just wing it and swing it. And the guy and his friend were just cracking up laughing, and I haven't been back since. So like I said, the wings were good, but not worth potentially getting into a bar fight over. So I guess that just shows that cubing has gotten me into some very, very interesting situations I never would have expected.